Well, good afternoon there. Today we are making cinnamon rolls, Hunter's request for today. So, ingredients that you will need is 4.5 to 5 cups of flour, and I am using freshly milled wheat, but you can use store-bought flour. 1 3/4 cup of water, a tablespoon of yeast, a 1/4 cup of honey, 1/4 cup of oil, and I use olive oil, and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Stay tuned for instructions. All right, we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients. I had the water and yeast and 2 cups of the flour in my mixer and mix that up, and then I let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes until it gets bubbly on top. And now I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients, and then we're going to let the mixer knead the flour. So we need 4.5 to 5 cups, and I'm going to add in, I've already had 2 in, so I'm going to add in, there's 1, so that means 3 cups of flour. And 2, there's 4 cups of flour. Let's go ahead and add in, well, let's stop with the 4 because we don't want to add too much. You can always add more, but you can't take it out. So I'm going to pour in my oil and my honey. And then we need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So there's 1, 2. Turn the mixer on. Okay, so I've added about 4 to 4.5 cups of flour in here. Still a little sticky, but it's going to knead in the mixer for about 6 minutes. Check back with you when it's done. So I'm rolling it out into a rectangle. Oops. I found a recipe on YouTube where when you mill your own wheat, to only have 1 rise. Most of the time, you mix up your dough and then you let it double, let it rise, and you punch it down and form it into whatever you're making, and then let it do a second rise. It just takes more time. And this recipe that I found was after you mix the dough and knead it, you shape it, go ahead and shape it into whatever you're making, and it only has 1 rise. And it turns out great for freshly milled wheat, and it saves time. Okay, so I've rolled this out, and it's about 19 inches long and about 12 inches wide. We'll see if I've got enough sugar and cinnamon. And I've got 3/4 cup of sugar in here, and I'm using raw cane sugar, and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Mix that up, Hunter. Okay. And then I've got a container here of very room temperature butter, and I'm guessing it's probably going to take about a full stick of butter. And we're just going to spread the butter evenly on the dough.
Oh, thank you, Grandma.
Okay, so we've got the butter pretty well spread out. And now we're just going to dust it with the cinnamon sugar. Hopefully I have enough. Okay, so we've got the cinnamon sugar all sprinkled on there. And now the trick is to roll it up. And we're rolling it up lengthwise. Okay. Trying to keep it even. Okay, I've got it all rolled up. It's in a nice long, like jelly roll. And we're gonna cut probably, I don't know if that's about an inch. You don't have to cut them that big, but anyway, so we're gonna cut each one of these. Okay, so I've cut all of these. And I'm just gonna put them in the pan. And we want to leave a little bit of room for them to rise. So don't squish them all in there together. I made that mistake the last time I made these. Okay, so we've got the cinnamon rolls in 2 cake pans, and I buttered them really well, stuck them in there. They don't look like perfect or anything, but who cares? We're gonna put them on a warm spot. Hopefully they taste good. So I'm gonna cover them with a towel, and then gonna let them rise. Probably, we're gonna check them back in about 30 minutes. So I'm gonna set the timer for 30 minutes. And now would be a good time to set your oven at 350. Get it heated up so it's ready to go when these have risen. Okay, so we've let these rise, I think about 45 minutes, so they needed longer than the 30. Depends on how warm your kitchen is. In the oven they go, 350 degrees. And I'm thinking about 30 minutes. So we're gonna set the timer for 30 minutes and we'll check in with you when they come out of the oven. Okay, so we've pulled the cinnamon rolls out of the oven. They were in for 30 minutes. And now we're gonna make an icing to put on top. So I've got a cup of powdered sugar, about a tablespoon, a little bit more than that of butter. I'm just gonna do a splash of vanilla. Let's see if I can get this butter mixed in a little. And then I'm gonna add just a couple tablespoons of hot water. Not much. Just gonna go slow until we get the consistency that we want. Okay, the icing's done. It's a little thinner than what I would like, but that's okay. All right, we're just gonna kind of drizzle this over the cinnamon rolls. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
All right, take her.
Okay, so here is the real test to see if they're any good. Hunter, oh my gosh, you're not gonna cut it off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those are good. A little crunchy on the top, soft and gooey in the middle. You can really taste the cinnamon and the sugar. So, thank you for joining us today for making cinnamon rolls. Hunter and myself. Subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.